Howdy, everybody. I'm going to put in the hip hop. Okay. So, I think I may have accidentally invented the Corvette class in here. I think that's actually probably closer to what a Corvette would look like. Being held inside that CA in the open zone. Yeah, I would. Well, I was walking with Alex and we got talking about the whole concept that I was talking about with the captain of my bad guy here, the Commonwealth. The captain was like, I was like, I don't want him to be mustache twirling, but I do want him to be in a, well, I'm glad you're worried. I mean, I'm not glad you're worried. I appreciate you being worried. I think that's the words I'm looking for. Thank you for being worried about me. And, of course, this is shower day, too. So I was going to come back and take a shower. And then I got back. We kept talking and going on these really interesting tangents. And then I was like, crap, I got to come back and take a shower. And then I came back and took a shower. And then we were just late. That's all. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Anyway, this is the Commonwealth CA or heavy cruiser. I'm just sketching and kind of just working it through. And they are determined. Right? Totally. Actually, and this is one of those things where you marry somebody and things get, I don't know, they change. But most normal people apparently shower every other day. I like to shower every day because I've got ADD, and if I don't, then I will shower once every 3 weeks and go, gosh, I smell really bad. I learned that when I was a kid. And so since I was a kid, I have always showered just every day. It's good to get me started in the morning, gets the blood running and things like that. The problem is when you are part of a family, you can't just suck up all the hot water all the time. People get mad about that. They're weird. Anyway, so we've got kind of a pattern going for every other day. showering, and though that messes with me a lot because I have a hard time doing that. And when I work like at the um a lot of women don't, because it actually is really lousy on their skin. Their skin will crack and stuff. And so, but also culturally, up until recently, I mean, and recently being the last 20, 30 years or so, culturally, women have not done as much hard labor as we did, so they didn't get as smelly. And now, of course, they do, which is totally cool, but it changes the dynamics of things. But yeah, so it's, I don't know. Personally, I shower every day because it keeps me awake. It wakes me up. I have to wash all the goop out of my eyes in the morning. It's more important to me than brushing my teeth every morning. I mean, sort of thing. Like, it's like if I have to choose between the two, I will take a shower rather than brush my teeth even, which of course I find ridiculous because of course I hate that taste in my mouth as well. But this is not to say that guy does not brush his teeth. Anyway, I'm just fussing with this because I'm like looking at it going, it's kind of cool. Yeah, I have to shower every day or I don't really wake up. Anyway, so I hadn't showered this morning before my walk with Alex because Maya worked early this morning because she had the early shift. And I had to get the kiddo out the door because this is the last day of school for him. And he was doing the, why in the world do I want to even bother going to school? So I had to fight him on that one. So I was late getting out the door to my walk. And then Alex and I got into a really interesting discussion about this captain and what he's doing and how he's processing the information that he's working on. And so it was, sort of that long thing. And then that became really fascinating. And then somehow we got onto our D&D game. And then before I knew it, it was like 9:03 when I left the park and came back here. Yeah, right. I mean, like, it depends. I don't know. I can't do it. I know that a lot of women will shower every other day so that they don't dry out their skin, especially here. And I don't blame them. I mean, I'm looking at like the skin on the back of my hands and my lips are all chapped right now because of the weather. And that's why I keep doing that. I'm licking my lips all the time because they're all chapped and screwed up. And I get that. And that's cool. But yeah, I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. So anyway, the reason why I was late this morning was I came back about 10 to 15 minutes after 2. Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, came back about 10, 15 minutes after 2, but I wasn't about to go without a shower, so I had to jump in the shower. You're all welcome. All of you people are welcome. All right. I've been fussing with this for a while, and I'm happy, and I like it. And I think I've even done I even think I have now kind of an idea of what Commonwealth Corvette looks like. So now we're going to go back to here. All right, because this didn't work for me. So I need to close you because I'll just keep coming back to it. And this scene 1 is skateboarding. I'm okay with that. I think I've got this one down just fine. I'll make sure you have all of the ships. Don't worry. I kind of actually dig that Commonwealth heavy cruiser. She's pretty. You know, I like that. Which I guess makes sense. I can't see why I wouldn't make ships that look pretty, or at least to me. It seems weird that I would I made a bunch of ships that were ugly. Like, we have to think of some of the other factions. What do Beehive ships look like? What do Pleiadian ships look like? What is the logic behind them? Are there non-aligned ships? So I'm thinking this scene is what I was talking about, scene 4 on issue 2. So this is Momentary Ghost. Right? By default, the music's always a little too loud for me. I don't know why I can't get the default for this. I wonder if there's a way to set that as a default. Hi. How are you? How are you? You good? I like the white stars. We are who we are. And sometimes you're a fuzzy cat. And that's who you are. Right? You're just a fuzzy cat. Yep, it's Scritchy's time. You're early for Scritches. Usually you're not here for like another hour or so. I don't want your butt. Thanks. All right, so these are the points that I know I've got for working these scenes out. Right? Don't lick my phone, weird animal. You probably no stream tomorrow through Monday. I think they're going to just make me... Okay, are we into licking for a reason? What's the story? What are we doing? What are we doing? Are you feeling... Why are you licking the tape? I don't know. Yeah, no stream tomorrow through Monday. It's going to be pretty much straightforward. I'll be back on Tuesday as normal. And I don't know about the night streams. It depends on how tired I am. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. So probably what'll happen is I will do limited night streams personally and only be here from 10 to 11 and then go to bed. Because if I can go to bed by 11, generally speaking, I can get up at a reasonable hour the next morning and still get an 8-hour block in there. It's not as big of a deal for me not to get 8 hours of sleep on days like this because I can take an afternoon nap. But when I'm teaching, obviously, can't say, well, guys, it's 2 o'clock. You guys just study on your own. You know. So that was a weird noise, I know. So that's usually what happens. Also, very concerned about the weather Wednesday night going into Thursday. I may have to spend an hour trying to drive the 2 miles to the location because I'm not going to go fast and there's hills in the way that always are a mess. And I could probably go the back route down Lamar here and come in through the back roads. But usually that's, you know, it depends on how brutal it is. And just avoid Sheridan altogether. I have to see. Okay. So I'm working through my scenes here. I've got skateboarding with Alex here, then the med lab scene, which is probably very short, then a confrontation with the DD buildup. This is actually not confrontation with the DD, though. I would actually call this probably more accurately, you know, worried buildup or something. I don't know, buildup with the DD. Anyway. Yep. Oh, I think the kiddo just brought his science grade up to B. He did. Check it. Good job, kiddo. With the exception of one class, he actually came out net positive. Oh no! Oh. Yeah, mine got an F in social studies. And it's the same thing. He's too smart. He knows all the I mean, he comes home and has these long discussions about, the Turks in war during the 1100s, and he'll have this entire long arduous discussion. That's what I've been trying to get him to do, is just turn it in. And so he doesn't have a problem with social studies. He has a problem with he doesn't want to deal with whatever topic social studies is right now, because he's got a different topic he's on. So he's blipping out the class, and he's got a 0.63 so far in participation and a 1.1 in assignments, which equals a D and an F. And it's like, woof. And the problem is he just got an A and an A in band and a B and a B in science, which means that, and the rest of them are C's, but that F is weighted. And so he's now holding it at like a 2.3 cumulative GPA. And it's like, oh man. And it's the same thing. I know your kiddo is an art person. So it's her eyes. You mean the eyes that she does? You should post it sometime. Because I like the way that artists work. But I mean, that's the thing. She's an art person, and that's the same kind of thing. You're like, really, you're an art person. You shouldn't be crashing here. It's the same thing. The kid, my kiddo, is a math person. He shouldn't be crashing out in math, but he's crashing out in math, and he loves all of his various things in world history and things like that. But it's all ADD. It's all ADD. That's, like I said, it lies to him. All right. Well, I mean, all if you ever manage to somehow get her to be on with you, not on, but like here with you, I can give her tutorials, and I would happily give her tutorials on inking and pushing the skill levels. I'm happy to do so. We need artists bad. Elf needs artists bad. So okay, I got two more scenes which live down here. One of them needs to be talking to Alex in some way. And I think what really needs to happen is So originally I said Alex lies in this section, and I don't think she needs to. She doesn't need to anymore. I mean, she needs to lie some, but she doesn't need to do... Nope, we don't meet that for a while. But we hint at it at the end of episode 3, or issue 3. The big bad, if you will, is not unveiling itself for a long time. All we need Alex to do at this point is become part of the crew. So, what to do with our survivors? Right? No, it's all good. I'm not worried. I've got 2 scenes that I want to do here, and this is also, rescue ops sort of thing. So I think I have the 7 scenes that I want to put in here. I don't think I'm going to have that much of a problem with it. So this scene is where we introduce Alex. She introduces herself. She says she's from a Luddite commune on the planet, but that's gone now. She didn't actually like it at all. And so she's totally willing to join the ship and everything like that if they're willing to take her. And and Chang says, well, I mean, I guess we can... You're over the age of consent, which means that you're in provisional land, which is what, where you're between the ages of making your own choices provisionally and the age where society considers you adult. So you can make these choices in lieu of the fact that you don't have parents now. So you can join the military. We've already sort of established that if you really want to join, you can join the military, because that's what Navin did. He joined in and joined when he was like only 3 years old. So, before he hasn't even been in service like that. And actually that gives sort of, or he hasn't been in civilian service. So he's only been in military service. He came out of the artificial intelligence vat and immediately joined the military. That was what he wanted to do. So this ties up Alex until later. Then Rescue Ops ties up our senator. Boom, problem solved. You're talking to yourself. But there is a thing. It's Kayan here and K-Men on the signing of the Accords. Now, we definitely could backload it to make it both Kayan or Cayman and Kayan, right? So the Accords read as, yeah, that's the thing, is the Accords read as Kayan, because it was Kayan who signed it, right? Who signed the Accords on that one, as in our fellow artist here on the show. But it's Cayman, as in the islands, the island chain is the name of the lieutenant. Says me hoping that that actually is what happened and not that I botched it really good. Yeah. Did he sign it differently because he's a goober? Was that you that signed this as Nobi Cayman? Yeah, because I think you signed this as Nobi Cayman. Okay. Then actually, I'm totally good with a couple of things. One, changing this slightly so that it matches. And then making it exactly as you said, they are descendants. Or at least this was a human who's got a family that is AI downrun. Okay, man. Yeah, you may be right. Well, and maybe that changed over time. Things sometimes change. 'Tis the nature of the beast. I mean, it's It's one of those things. I belong to the Stewarts, Stewart. There is a branch of the Stewarts family that is a Stauar or Stuart, right? If you go back far enough, they're both the same family. It's just somewhere someone decided they needed to be EW and somebody needed to be UA, and I don't know, whatever. Same thing with my Stevens side. There's a Stevens side of my family, and it's PH, but there's also the EV version. Yeah, it's been a while, so I'm sure also that if you were to look at Cayman now, it's written in Tamerbeshi. So we don't know what the pronunciation guide for Tamerbeshi is, you know. Whereas the signing of that was literally signed in English. It was so long ago. So I think what'll be interesting is that to us, or to the Unity people, the original Constitution will look like something written in Latin. You know what I mean? It'll look to us like it was written in Latin. Well, that's weird. But then Alex will be able to go up and go, "Hey, this is the first thing I can actually read." You know. That'll be interesting. I think the interesting thing is how often accidents, or not accidents, but just not thinking it through or whatever's the story, causes us to create interesting sub stories here. Like we're sitting here talking about this as if maybe he learned about his family history and decided he wanted to join in on it, or maybe his parents were anti-military and so he's just doing it to tick them off, or there's all kinds of stuff. But whatever it is, he wanted to serve. My wife is sending me cute emojis. One of her kids is teaching her how to write in emojis. And so she's sending me random emojis because her kids are saying, "You've got to do this." Oh man, that's funny. So, anyway, all right. The next thing we have here, because I'm not hot on this one. We're not gonna keep that. I like this. This looked really cool. This worked really well. But there's a scene doctor page, which we're going to look at now. There's a "you screwed this up" page. right? Because there's a pattern to scenes and how they operate. Oh man, nothing like cherry candy canes. They're my favorite things. Christmas is the time when I got like all the cool stuff. Okay. I am so doing the thing that Anime likes to do. What year is it? It's 20XX. Whatever. Okay. How would this scene advance the story? Hey, you. Mm-hmm. Okay, but I do have to work, you know. Mm-mm. You can't have my candy cane. Yeah, you do want a lot of boops, don't you? All right. How will this scene advance the story? You hear the dog? I am willing to let you go all over the place, but not after my candy cane. That's my candy cane. My candy. Christmas gets you different things, but not candy canes. You're still attacking my candy cane. Don't attack my candy cane. You goofball. Weird little animal. Okay. We show Alex in her natural environment. We get all of the. Are you trying to eat this? Don't eat this. Hang on. this isn't what this is not what this thing's asking for. How will this advance the story? This belongs to the larger story. Because of what? Maybe the viewpoint character on this is not Alex, but rather the universe, right? Because it says, what is the viewpoint character's goal? / meta. Because the viewpoint character is when you say what's the main character's goal in this is a flashback. Right? Good. Yeah, I like candy canes. The problem is the whole point here. Maybe this is the thing. It's mine, you little pest. I'm thinking about this, and I'm wondering if maybe part of the problem that I'm having with this particular scene is that it doesn't fit very well. But the point of it the scene is to show that Alex is lying. So that whenever she says, I'm part of a Luddite community on the planet, the reader has a feeling that something's not right. But I don't want it to be overt. I don't want to just make it obvious. But again, looking at this from an outsider's view, you can't tell that Arvada, Colorado isn't a city in on Moment. How do you know that Arvada is not a city on Moment? How do we know? What setup did we come up with? Which is good, because now I think, looking at this layout of this, we need to make sure that something shows that it's Earth and that it's a city on Earth. right? Earth as another character. Yeah. So we need to make sure some things indicate Earth. Somehow. Yeah, something like that. Like frontier days. Yeah. And not frontier days, because again, people would misunderstand that. Earth Day one, yeah. Yeah. I mean, like we do have an Earth Day. I'm slowly eating this candy cane. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think I'll avoid the year and just make it clearly and obviously today. Relatively modern cars. And the main reason I want to avoid a year is because of, you know, not wanting to do the first contact day thing. So we need two things in this scene that need to be accomplished. Show something uniquely Earth. And show Alex watching the end of the world. Because the conflict is external. It's the end of the world. Okay. Good. Slow. So the pacing is slow. Still Alex. Doctor. Right. And Navin. Because we need to bring in Navin at this point to help translate her. And how will this scene advance the story? These are part of a side story in reality. Thinking it through, embedding Alex. Right? Fear mostly, but if we think about this, how are we thinking this through? I don't know. I think I need more candy cane. Christmas is the best time of year. Okay. Maybe it's time for me to just bring out the worksheet. And this is where I use this as a guide. Because these first 4 pages here represent this rising action right here to here. So this can be the cataclysm in that first scene. Then we come back down from that to here. And here's where I want to look at my layout. Because I'm doing scene planning on this. I don't know if I'm as big on this either. Right? So this is scene 2, right to here. Because that brings me right down to right here. So this is MetLab. Then right here, I need to have something. It has to drop something. Right? And originally in this spot, we had Alex telling some kind of statement that was shocking there. But the way manga is set up, it's 16 pages in, you have a reveal of some sort. And this is where I start hammering things in. We're hammering in the plot. We're pounding it into place here. Because no matter what, scene 3, which is the build up to the destroyer showing up, we could either run it where that 16 is here, you know, where the buildup is to a point where the DD is like, well, not really. I'm, and the shocker here is, Captain, I'm not here to take over anything. I'm just here to help. That's the shocker. Seems kind of weak. I don't like that as much. I almost want to split these two scenes right here and then make the drama happen here somehow. Kind of feeling like that's the thing. Breaking this up and putting the cut here puts us between these two, but then we have to come up with some drama from here. And maybe what the problem is, we need to flip-flop these two scenes. And maybe that's it. I think that's it. That's the answer to our problems here. And take this scene here and this scene here. All right. A revolt. Riots are breaking out. That's it. That's what's going on. So when we look at like the cataclysm that has occurred on Moment, the infrastructure is down, the government's screwed up, everything is messed up, the power systems are screwed up, So what's occurring on Moment? Riots are breaking out. And all that's left on Moment right now is the princess, right? So we've got, 6 Marines and 1 Navy pilot. And that's it. That's what we've got on the planet. And that's a problem. Because, there's no way they're going to hold an entire planet that's collapsing. So that's what happens here, is trying to figure out what to do about the revolt. Doesn't need to be a big deal. We don't need to go through a lot. But we need to get that senator back down on there, because the senator is government operations. And that actually is what needs to occur. What? It's the only way to be sure. So, revolt. The peasants are revolting. Well, make them all take a bath. Okay. Okay. So, moving along here, we actually can split that scene. Looking at that, I can actually split this scene in two. Right, we can split this in half here because all we need is for a faction on moment to pick up weapons to take control of the defense forces. So, only problem with breaking up a candy cane is you end up with a whole bunch of like little candy cane bits. All right. This works. They have weapons. Then we start here. With okay. Going back down. Then we need a scene here, which is Meyrel and Marines doing something about this. And this gives me something to deal with. Because maybe we put Commonwealth fighters in there, or Commonwealth mecha. Maybe we need Commonwealth mecha for this. That'd be interesting. Yep. Because we haven't seen combat mecha yet. I want to think through real quick an idea that I had about Commonwealth mecha. There we go. Like some kind of cannon on top would be cool. Yeah. So the legs fold up to be tails and the feet fold into the hull so that there's aerodynamics. I feel like there should be wings too that fold up. I feel like that's better. The Commonwealth, everything's circular and round in the design so that it offsets. So, yeah. So they kind of look like in flight mode, they look like this. That looks much better. There we go. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We'll figure it out. Anyway, that gives me something. I want to just write that idea down before I forgot it. Because a lot of times when I'm writing these scenes, I'll get a flash of seeing the scene. And I just saw the kittiwake coming in for a landing like this with two of these fighters transforming down and putting legs down and then landing next to it on legs. And they've got ostrich legs. So how's your buddy, Jerry? Excellent. Upset? That's survivable. Mrs. Right. Okay, I've had a change of heart in this scene. Okay, I'm thinking through this sequence here. I feel like what we've got is I'm going to go a little over today because I'm trying to think this scene through. But I think we've got this pretty well designed at this point. And I'm feeling like I'm getting much closer to where we are, so I'm going to let this go, or where we should be. So I'm going to keep going here. This scene here is Mayrel and Marines deal with crowd. Okay. Nope. Switch tools. And DDC. What is my problem? CWDD. We need the senator on the ground. And Chang agrees. Prep for landing. Can I help? Legit, I'm undermanned. For a crisis. One of the things that I think we want to try to show is her growth in this. He's being very straightforward. Yeah, I know. You want up here again, aren't you? You're going to come up here because you want more scritches. You spend a lot of time with scritches now that you've learned that this is how scritches work. I'm just saying. You have spent a lot of time being scritchy. Scritchy, 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 scritchy. You're such a scritchy kitty. So the reason I'm thinking this is I'm thinking that up until here, I'm going to have Okay, so we've got two pieces to this scene that I want to get to. One, two, three, four, five. You do make this complicated, though. You will scritch me and stop drawing. I will keep drawing. But I will headbutt you if you want. That's what we'll do. We can do the headbutt thing. Right, so I feel like we'll go in groups of 5 pages. Now let's look at the way that this works. If we build up, first of all, the MedLab one can go to here. I really shouldn't want to go to here though, because that's this down arc coming back down on the, we've gone up, we need to come back down, right? So that's this scene here. We'll take this and just erase that. Oh, we've got to do the nose looking. Okay. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I know. It's okay. I love you too. You're very sweet. Oh gosh. You smell like cat food. I'm gonna rub this in your face there. I mean, do you brush your teeth at all? Goober. Weirdo. Okay. So we got this. It's 3. We're going to have 3 panels for, or 3 pages for skating. And then 3 pages for MedLab. That should be good. Because we got to remember we have a splash here on this. So this is splash. Right, left, right, left. That puts her at the end of that scene. And then MedLab, which goes to here. Then right, then dusting off. Prep for battle. And then this is no backup. You're going to totally fall off the edge, you goofy animal. There we go. There we go. Just us and them, right? And then this sequence right here is hi, here to help, with this being the peasants are revolting. There we go. That seals up the first half. Okay, good. And that gives us a pattern of which we're coming back up to more freak out. This is a little bit more like this, but it still works. We get this rising action to, wait a minute, what? Then, crap, we're in trouble. Now, what really needs to happen in the traditional manga sense is from this point, we collapse all the way down to the lowest point in the story. Right? So this is page 17, 18, 19, 20. And then it's 21, 22, 23. So 21, 22, 23. This is the lowest point. It doesn't look good here. Things have got to look crappy here. This is the lowest point in the story. And from this point, we rise out until we get to 28. But this is a middle frame, so we don't actually rise out of this one perfectly. We come out of this one with another cliffhanger because this is the middle of this plot. This is Act 2. So it doesn't have to be horrible on this one. But I think I know what the problem is, and that's these two are flip-flopped. We don't actually need to worry about that because we'll just rewrite it. Because really the lowest point here there. Right, is Alex leaving. That's the lowest point of this. So here's how we've set this up. Here's the new rundown of this as I work this out in my head. We end up with Mirel saying, hey, we've got a real problem on the planet. Everything's falling apart. And so that's, the shocker to end our first 16 pages. Then we go into a splash. Then we come out onto these 3 pages, which is oddly the Commonwealth destroyer captain saying, we need your senator on the ground to get control. So let's get back down there. Do you want support? And after all of these pages up here where it's, we're alone, we're going to be destroyed, everybody's going to die, bad things are going to happen, Chang now says, okay, I'm going to believe you. I'm going to take you in and believe this. So yes, bring your assistants back. But no shooting. Then we move into the scene at MedLab where now we're back on ground. And okay, so we're back on the ground in the medical lab, and the doctor has said, okay, I've installed a little breathing apparatus in your lungs so that you can breathe normal air. Are you sure you want to leave? And Alex says, yeah, you guys are really nice and I really appreciate it. But, I've got to do something else. This is good because this actually is the second point of the 3 points in the story. where Alex makes a statement that makes some sense. So I really like where we're going on this one, because then Alex says, I have to leave. And then Navin says, yeah, well, if you ever want to, she knows she doesn't have family. So she doesn't want to have to do something evil to the QuaCk. So she doesn't know what her mission is, but she's pretty sure her mission involves stealing a ship somewhere along the line. And that's actually part of this. Her arc says that she has to steal a ship. At some point, 50 episodes from now, Alex is going to have to steal a ship to finish her mission. She doesn't want to steal the QuaCk. The people here are nice. They're really cool people. So this is a turning point for the character on Alex, because she says, I'm leaving. I'm going to go steal a Commonwealth ship in her head. I'm going to go steal a Commonwealth ship. I'm not going to steal the QuaCk. You guys are nice. You guys actually helped me. You put the little thing in my lungs so I can breathe, and you put the little thing in my ear so I can hear you. You guys are nice. And then on her way out, Navin says, I know you don't have any family. I know you don't have any friends or whatever. Consider joining the Unity, because we could be your family. And Alex is like, yeah, bye. And then leaves. Okay, no problem. But that has now added to Alex's thought process now. Because Navin, as we just said, he joined right up for reasons which aren't clear, but they're there. So Navin joined, so that's a thing. Now we go through the whole last part of this, and once we get into the last verse there, or the last episode, or the last issue, in the next issue we're going to be getting Alex back. And when we do, that's when she does the her alter ego says, why are you going to just take over this ship then? And her response is, maybe we don't take them over. Maybe we convince them to help us. You know what I mean? Like a shift in her thought process. Yeah, we haven't figured out what Navin's deal is. I mean, I kind of know in my head, but I haven't asked a whole lot of questions of Navin yet. You know what I mean? So I don't know. But that's what I think will happen now. As in, then she'll come back. She needs to also Navin needs to give her a thing, press this button if you ever want to return. And we'll come get you. Yeah, that's what needs to happen. We'll put that here on this one. There. That works. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. I'm putting this here as a note that we need to remember this. But this is the low point of this, because Alex clearly doesn't have a plan, and they're letting a girl just walk off the ship, but she's above the age of majority, so she can't, she can make that call. That's her call. Yeah, I like that. That fits well. It feels smooth and it feels reasonable. Also, it gives me a little bit of complication to Alex, so she's not just straight up, on this one. Okay, then we move to the peasants are revolting. And how do we deal with the peasants are revolting problems? The ship psychologist, because this is a ship of 45 people, ship psychologist is the doc. And he'll let her go. You know, I mean, if she's over 14, and 14 is the age for humans, is the age of majority. So you can make your own decisions if no one's there to guardian you. If you have no guardian, you're allowed to make your own decisions at that age. So really, it's when she hits puberty-ish, give or take, until from puberty-ish to the age where the frontal lobe forms up fully is the provisional age for humans. It's when they're in this age that's kind of a mix between guardian taking care of them and them taking care of themselves in society. Every race has a different point in that. You know, like all the races have a different point. AIs go through it like that. Their majority happens like at about 12 hours or 13 hours after being powered on. And then once they're powered on, because there's the load in time where you load all the information to them. And then they have a period where you're trying to figure out what kind of creature they are once, you know, what evolved from all of the soup you just dumped into their cortex. Then once the soup's all figured out and they figure out what kind of personality they become, and then they grow up from that point in time. But it happens quickly. Yeah, I mean, the doc could say, you know, hey, we're not letting you go. But I like this better because in the end of this issue 3, in this episode, in the very end, we have a scene between Alex and her personal AI, which we didn't know existed and we haven't seen, and just shows up out of the blue to talk to her. And the AI says, why didn't you? I thought you were leaving so you wouldn't have to take over the ship. And she says, well, maybe we don't have to take over the ship, you know. But the whole point was, somewhere in her mission status, she's got to take over a ship. So we're not going to explain what the story is or why. But I kind of like the idea that we are feeding out a little bit of the girl's got a mission that may or may not be good. So I like the way that feeds. All right. So now that we've gotten that, we have to build back up to getting everything back under control here. And here is the cliffhanger. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. I'm glad you asked. Can the doc override it? Yes, he could. He certainly could. He won't in this instance, but he could. All right. I know what's going on here. And that is, you know, a much larger fleet of ships is inbound. That's this last panel. The last little bits here. You know, we are missing one thing, and that is better spec saying something's going down in the system. So Commonwealth, they're Commonwealth ships inbound, because that sets up our cliffhanger for Act 3, right? We need better spec in here. Maybe it's Mayrel too. Is back, because once they're back on the ground, welcome back. I want to give sort of a little bit of a hint so that it doesn't feel like Deus Ex Machina, right? But also, what's happening here? Give a little bit of touchstone back on the plot. Because the plot is what happened to Moment, right? And when I say cliffhangers, it's just not really a cliffhanger, but more along the lines of just trying to pull you into the next issue. And it's rising action, falling action, because really, honestly, that's kind of the way manga is usually written in that style, is to have it written in a way where the action rises and falls. You know what I mean? Like, so in this instance, we have the cliffhanger of, I'm sorry, I have to tell you, I just got new orders. We are going to take over this system because it's unoccupied. And so we're going to have to ask you to leave. And, she's like, I can't. This is a Unity world. And then, she's like, can we just work something out? And he's like, nope, there's nothing we can do. The fleet is on its way. There's a fleet on the way. Right? So, because the whole point is we start the next one with, we're going to start the next issue with them effectively fleeing the Commonwealth fleet, So I also feel like, and this is where I'm trying to think of, I'm just trying to tie stuff together. I want a MacGuffin of some sort, like Better Spec sees something that keeps them tied to this. And I don't know if I necessarily want it to be Alex. That's kind of obvious. So I'm kind of thinking this through. So I'll put, MacGuffin. Right there. And that'll tell me And then like through here is one sequence. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what we're getting there, but that's not the MacGuffin I'm after. I want better spec to say what what I want, but without saying it, is better spec to say, "Hey, look, there's a wormhole out there. I wonder where it goes to." You know, that's what I really want. But if you say that, then we've pretty much nullified the thing you say at the very beginning, where it's like, there's no wormhole here, so you can't warp here. You can't fold here. You can't use the fold drives. Because we need to introduce that technology anyway. We need to introduce the concept of no fold, no wormhole sort of thing. Yeah. Except that I want him to be working on it from the point of view of Mayrel comes back into the cockpit up front, and better spec is like, hey, welcome back, Lieutenant. Here is your coffee. Also, been just kind of messing around trying to figure out why this whole situation kind of went down. I've got a couple of really interesting little anomalies and stuff like that. And Mayrel's like, that's great, but we've got other things to worry about at the moment. And better spec's like, yeah, it's true, but I'm a gravitics officer. What do I have to do but to look around and see what's going on? Sort of thing. Sort of like it's not obvious. I don't want it to be blunt and in your face. Here we are looking at the point of the story right here. Here's the point. Flag, here's the point. But I want you to be able to be in issue 3, and when the Unity ship Polaris shows up, it doesn't come up as a weird surprise. It just comes up as, oh, that's what Better Spec was talking about. You know what I mean? Like, you kind of go, oh, okay, that's what he was discussing. So, like, I don't know. It could be anything. It could be a rogue star, or 2 planets having sex, or it could be a ship coming through and fold. Anything like that. Stuff. Like he says a bunch of things, and then all of a sudden, just kind of, while he's at it, tosses out or it could be fold activity. You know what I mean? But can't be fold activity because we can't fold here. Ha ha ha! Here's your coffee. So just a little bit of a push, so that it doesn't seem really weird when the Polaris shows up out of the blue, out of complete left field. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Is he's just trying to figure out what caused this to happen, and sort of thing. Well, that's maybe that's pretty much it right there. Is it could be anything from, and we can even have, well, it can't be fold activity because there's no fold line here. Maybe that's what I want to write down here, is it can't be fold activity. There's no spatial fault. here. Perhaps it's a Commonwealth doohickey. There. Something that would sound like a reasonable thought process. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay. It did seem like the captain knew that, you know, the Commonwealth captain seemed to know what was going on here. And then I can red herring it, and that works. And that makes it fit a lot more. Yeah. I like this. I like the way this is working out now. It must be a communication pod. There we go. This way, it doesn't feel so. Because see, they were onto it. They had it. They were doing the right. You know, Better Spec had it. He already knew what was going down. But between Mayrel and Better Spec, they will have talked themselves out of it, and then that would be. That's good. I like that. Okay, so. And that way let's reuse the word spatial fault up here so that we know that we're using it. There we go. That way, the spatial fault is the important part of this. Folding ships can only travel through spatial faults. So we have to have a spatial fault to moment. And part of the reason that part of the reason that we've got this going on, and part of the reason, and the whole plot, is that a spatial fault has appeared. But you can't sense spatial faults easily. You need a much more specialized spacecraft than either the Commonwealth has out there or the QuaCk. Neither one of them are going to be able to see the spatial fault. Moreover, this spatial fault's going to be weird because it curves, which isn't something that spatial faults do. So that works. Okay. All right. That leaves us these two scenes. And actually, I can probably move this over one to here and move it out to here. And then that way, we're still in Better Specs world over here. Let's take a look at where that scene ends. Does it end on a left? Yeah, it does. Okay, good. This gives us a right to start on as a different scene, which can give us the transition of having the kittiwake sitting out or something where something where we have a transition, right? We know we're going to transition through here. It gives us a different transition. So almost tempted to say that a logical transition from the captain or the Commonwealth captain knew something was going down. Is to have like the captains talking to each other, maybe even having tea of some sort. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. And have the two captains talking. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. I want to have the two captains talking to each other in this last scene. Let's take a look at the conditions. It still looks nasty tomorrow. Yeah, this storm's rolling in at night. It's going to drop us all the way down to something brutally minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit at this point. By tomorrow morning, it's supposed to be by Thursday morning, it's going to be minus 15 degrees Fahrenheit. That's brutal. That is brutal. Okay. With a lot of snow, it's going to be even more brutal. Maybe these are scenes that are right to here. No, to here. Just here. It's a splash. It's like a splash. And I'll roll this scene out to here. And captains talk. Okay. Okay, I think we're good here. I like this. I feel like this is a good layout for issue 2. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna call this a save as, and I'm gonna call this Clip Studio format. And then I'm going to think about it. And now I'm going to leave because I have made up my time. And now we're 16 minutes actually over the end of this show. Even if you assume I started late, we're 16 minutes past that. So I'm going to go on ahead and head on out now and go do laundry and all the things that need to be done so that I can go to work tomorrow. Make sure to have all of my stuff. I probably should fix my stop sign. My stop sign got bent, and now it doesn't sit very well on the board. So I think I'm gonna. It doesn't help any. It looks like it's lost all of its magnets except for 2, so it doesn't sit on the board very well. So I'm gonna go see if while I'm out and about today, if I can't find myself a couple of rare earth magnets and stick them on here. So stuff like that. But this is my Japanese stop sign. I love to have that in my class. I like to put that back in my class. Very useful. So cool. I will see you all at the later devoo. Tonight will be probably a short night, maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. And then from this point forward, like I said, I won't be on tomorrow through the remainder of Christmas. And during the day, I won't be on a day show because I'll be, of course, in classroom. However, I will be back to normal the following Tuesday unless they heed my warning and cancel our class on Thursday. Because if so, then they'll move it to Tuesday. But you'll know ahead of time. I'll be giving you guys I'll be on here at night for at least a little bit, but I'll probably be letting Kayan run the show at night. So until then, have a great day, and I'll see you all tonight. And keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye.